Welcome back to Flashback Reviews. I'm J77, and for the next reviews, I'm going to be talking about animation based on TV shows. And since there was a limited release of a very popular Japanese anime and a very popular card game, I might as well talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, the very first movie that came out in 2004, also known as Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie Pyramid of Light. This film was at the hype of Yu-Gi-Oh, which was peaking at that moment. The original series, they just finished the saga of Battle City, which to me is one of my second best season, next to the I like to call the Oracle series, the Oracle series with Dross and his thing going on. I think did a very great job with that. But this is the movie that really happened before that saga happened, and a lot of people who were fans, me included, was actually pumped up about this movie. At the same time, I remember movies past based on TV shows, and I'll get that into the minute because it's very important to keep that in mind. But the film takes place right after Battle City's finals. Hyugi is at the height of his career, and Satoru Kaiba um, is not exactly very happy about it because again he cannot accept losing to Hyugi. It's been 3 years now, pretty much been note, and he is looking to find a way not only to beat Hyugi but to beat the three legendary god cards, which in the American version is Slifer, the Sky Dragon, Obelisk the Tormentor, and the Winged Dragon of Ra. Um, he went to Pegasus, um, knowing that Pegasus had made a card that can counter the god cards, and it turns out he had not one but two, but not the one that Pegasus had given him. It was a card planted by an evil being known as Anubis. Sorry. The Anubis story really come into full fold when Kaiba and Hyugi dueled once again for the fourth time. When the duel started, I was already pumped up because seeing those two duel and how they do is always a fun, entertaining experience by itself. I love when these two duels. You see their morals and their reasonings always seem to clash into each other. You understand what Hughie's going through, but you also understand in many ways, more so than I think many people realize, what Kaiba's going through. The man is determined to win, and losing and taking second place is simply not an option to him. And a lot of this was told for his backstory. Unfortunately, there's another player involved, and that is the spirit of Anubis, who needs Kaiba to defeat Hyugi, or more of the spirit of the Millennium Puzzle, to attain his life force, so that way he can break free and cause havoc. So there's pretty much two things going on, and it's up to little Hyugi, along with his friends, to stop Anubis from doing that. And the only way they can do that is by basically being sucked into the pyramid, and destroying the stranglehold that Anubis have had, which is within the Millennium Puzzle. I'm gonna say right off the top, if you're a fan of Hugo, you either like this film or hate this film, and it's for a lot of the same reasons. I'm gonna say right here. Again, I was very happy with the duel between Hyugi and Kaiba. I thought they were very, very good. I thought they is something that you're not going to be disappointed in, and it really makes for that extended episode, a mini series that they have done. Excuse me, in the American version in the past. Keep in mind, I said extended episode miniseries, not a movie. Um, this movie is not good. Just keeping it real. It really relies on the fan base and the fan base alone, to really carry this movie. It was highly pushed by the companies, both advertisements as well as theater releases and endorsements. But the film still had that fan base. Moviegoers Regular moviegoers were simply not interested in this movie. It didn't bomb, but it damn sure underperformed. I think they only made $1 million back on this movie. That's how underperformed. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's one of the reasons why the movies like Beyond um, Fusion Beyond Time, as well as the newest film, The Dark Side of Dimension, hardly got any push at all. The only reason you probably heard of Dark Side of Dimension is if word of mouth from YouTube, which is how I found out, and some of the stores that sell Hugo cards have actually mentioned this. Keep in mind, this movie was a $20 million budget. It only made $9 million out of $20 million budget, which box office results as 29 million. It was just underperformed. They expected a whole lot more from what they had gotten in this movie. Um, but there's a whole lot of reasons why it also underperformed. The word of mouth wasn't good, and when I saw the film, it's very easy to see why. Again, it's an extended episode. That's all this is. It didn't need to be in theaters. They could have easily put this as a made for TV movie, put it on HBO, put it on WB11, which was converted to CW11. It really didn't need a theater release because again, this was pretty much the fan base was very limited. The fan base only was going to see this unless that fan base actually speaks out and said, "Hey, yeah, works. This works. You got to see this film is epic." But there's really nothing epic about the film, and that was the whole point. You had the duels. That's it. The storyline was not as strong as I would hope to be. The ending was questionable, and let's be realistic here. It just, besides a duel between Yu-Gi and Kaiba, the end result was a bit disappointing because it ended up being Yu-Gi versus Anubis in the end, and how he aimed to beat him, you just scratch your head even more, even for a Yu-Gi fan. The storyline was just weak. The animation was okay. I mean, you can't expect too much from an animation that's been pushed over towards from TV to movie, but it wasn't nothing to shine about. It was typical animation that you come to see from Japanese anime. That's fine. The music here, it's very forgettable. I mean, I don't normally talk about soundtracks too much, but it really is not much. They promote the soundtrack a lot, and trust me, they did. And I'm like, for the life of me, I can't understand why the soundtrack was not great. They try to appeal to a hip hop crowd that don't really exist. That's the best way I can say it. But the most importantly, it's just when you look at the end of the day, it was fun to watch, a good pass over the time. But really, when it comes down to it, is it anything special? Do anybody talks about that movie to this day? No, because it's nothing really much to talk about. You've seen it, and then it's put in the back of your head that you've seen it. And what made it worse, more so than anything else, that the stuff that's happened, like, there was 2 cards that Kaiba obtained, by the way, after winning Pegasus for it. It was supposed to be 1 card, but Nubia snuck in 2. These cards were never mentioned again in anything else in the original series, and that is the Pyramid of Light card and Blue Eye Shining Dragon. You would think they will actually return at some point in the series. That was not the case. It was there, it was gone, that's it. That's all you got. That's all it is to it. It just was there, and it was never mentioned again. The same thing similar to the Power Rangers movie, and I need to get to that movie. Trust me, I will. But if you've seen the first Power Ranger movie, it didn't link up well with the TV series. In fact, Turbo, which a lot of people hated, I thought that was actually a better movie than the original. Actually did a better job of linking the 2 series. Here, the same thing. If you don't need to see this the Yu-Gi-Oh movie to get a feel for what season 3 is going to be about. It's a standalone movie. Nothing in that movie will ever be referenced again in any of the lore, and I think that really must hurt it more. Is the fact is there was no connection. Out of all the TV animation that I've seen, this is the one film that really don't make a link to the events that happen. You just see it from season 2.2, and I say that because season 3, I don't really count what happened between Kaiba's stepbrother as season 3. I just count it as a mini series leading up to the end of season 3. But You don't need to see you don't need to see the movie to understand what's going on, because again, there's no more reference to that. It goes right straight to the events, and the events that happen in with Hughie, Kyber, Dross, some of the new characters, Raphael especially, never been referenced or mentioned in this film. Um, it's really nothing to shine a good light on. I won't say it's the worst of the of this movie series that I'm gonna be talking about that is made in the cartoons. Trust me, the worst I will be talking about in the upcoming reviews. Oh my god, I hate that film, and you will know what it is. And it really breaks my heart because I actually love the series, at least the first two seasons of it. But it's definitely nothing to shine home about. It's nothing to sit there and say, oh, wow, I saw the greatest movie. There were better adaptations that did a better job from translation from TV show to movies here. But again, it's just one of those things that if you're a nostalgic and you love the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, you're gonna like it for what it's worth. But to me, I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I like to do it with Kaiba. That was the only thing that was holding this film together. Other than that, everything else was wasting my time. I didn't. It's nothing to sit here to cry home about. When I saw the film, I didn't go back and say, oh, to my Yu-Gi-Oh friends, oh, this was a great movie. I got to see some more of it. No, I didn't care less about it. I didn't. I just said, oh, it was a good film. That's it. And neither, surprisingly, neither anyone who is a Yu-Gi-Oh fan and still play Yu-Gi-Oh to this day. It's just one of those things that, okay, it's there. That's great. I've seen it for curiosity reasons, nostalgic reasons, but I'm not gonna go back on this movie. I mean, that is it. One note though, I'm aware that there is more stuff in the Japanese animation, the original Japanese format. There were added scenes here. Unfortunately, I haven't seen that one. Yes, I am watching the Japanese version. Yes, I agree. It is 10 times better than the American dub. But I'm not going to just discredit for kids American dub, because, again, that was the reason why I got into Hugo in the first place. And I also understand that the card game in the US is more, they're trying to cater to more for the younger audience than they are in Japan. I'm not going to dispute that. But at the same time, there's really no excuse for the movie being this way. It should have been, uh, it really should have been a made-for-TV film. That's what it felt like. It definitely didn't need that major theater release. On a scale of 1 to 4, I have given this film a very moderate 2 stars, and that's because, again, for what it's worth, there was some good elements that stuck with me. The animation was pretty good. The voice actors was good. I have no problem. I love Eric Stewart portrayal of Seto Kaiba. And in case you don't know who Eric Stewart is, he is very, very popular within not only the Yu-Gi-Oh universe, because he did play another character in Yu-Gi-Oh GX that I actually liked, but he was also the guy who hasn't seen to open his eyes in Pokemon, one of Ash's closest friends. So he's very well diverse in voice acting, and he is awesome as Seto Kaiba. I think they got the right guy for that job for him. And again, Hugi and Kaiba just alone, this seeing those two duke it out, that's entertainment by itself. Again, animation, not bad. I said it before. The pacing, the film is short. I mean, let's keep it real. The film is very short. There's nothing really to drag about. So if anything else, the pacing came and went the way it's supposed to be. It didn't drag. So there are some good elements that I like. The problem is it had a weak story, an unnecessary story. The premises just didn't add up. There was a lot of inconsistencies into the dueling, especially when, if you count the stuff that was going on, Hugo should have lost that duel the moment his monster got wiped out. Somehow they seemed to miscount one dragon. It's a long story. How they ended it was underwhelming and pretty much disappointing. And again, overall, the film had a making of a Saturday Night Special made for TV film, not worthy of a theater release. So that's just my feeling on that. Yu-Gi-Oh fans, you may disagree. That's cool. Tell me what you like about the film. Tell me if you even didn't like about the film, why you didn't like about the film. Again, this is my opinion. And for you guys know, yeah, I know what the pyramid light was stands for in the Egyptian lore. I understand it. Great, fine. Still ain't gonna change my mind least bit. 2 stars. You may disagree with me. Put it in the comment section below. I'd like to know. Until next time, J77 saying take care, be safe. Talk to you soon. And Flashback Reviews is part of the MaticExpression.com family / Mirror Network. Take care.